The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
Let me state this clearly, colleagues. I have never met with or had any conversation with any Russians or any foreign officials concerning any type of interference with any campaign or election in the United States. Further, I have no knowledge of any such conversations by anyone connected to the Trump campaign. I was your colleague in this body for 20 years, at least some of you, and and the suggestion that I participated in any collusion, that I was aware of any collusion with the Russian government to hurt this country, which I have served with honor for 35 years, or to undermine the integrity of our democratic process, is an appalling and detestable lie.
What's appalling and what's detestable is our Congress is spending and wasting time on this. We're talking about Russia again. Welcome to Phil's Gang, coast to coast around the country, off the Wall Street Radio Network. We just had a flash crash last Friday in about 6 stocks that hold up the entire stock market. All fake. And we're talking about this. What are you, nuts? Tomorrow, they're raising rates. What are you, nuts? They're going to take a risk and raise rates just so they can keep putting forward their fake narrative that everything is fine.
The economy been doing nicely.
Yeah, just to cover her butt, she's going to raise rates at a time that is incredible. At a time we have an all-time high in bad economic numbers. We've never had so many bad economic numbers before. This is an all-time high. She's raising rates in some of the worst economic numbers we ever had. It's insane. Just to cover her butt. Just to mask her false narrative. We have a GDP economic growth that's 1.8%. The lowest we've seen since 1929. And they're talking about Russia. We have a wage growth that's at a 30-year low. We can't even get wages to increase. And the only reason when you hear on the news house prices are exploding is because there's few houses that are available, because we're not constructing houses. Because the Dodd-Frank bill, which thank God, President Trump convinced the Congress, the House, to roll back. How many times did you hear how, look at the housing boom, look at this. Look how prices are going up. There's such demand. A lie. There was no demand. Under the Frank Dodd bill, we couldn't build any houses. You couldn't get banks to loan to builders. You couldn't get banks to loan to people. Even if you had good credit scores and you had a terrific background, you could not get a loan. This is crazy. And don't be surprised tomorrow. And I'm going to get my gang ready. So when if the market drops tomorrow, we'll be ready to make money. But don't be surprised, this rate hike that everybody's all excited about, and why the market rallied on Friday, and which, by the way, is petering out today, that all the investors sell into the rally, take their profits, bringing the market down. Yes, that could happen tomorrow. I mean, the risk of raising rates into this kind of market is nuts. This kind of economy is nuts. If we were doing so nicely,
The economy been doing nicely.
if we're doing so nicely, then answer this. Aunt B, why did our budget deficit for May 2017, why is it 60% higher than May of 2016? That doesn't make any sense. Why would you raise rates if we are spending more money than we take in by 60% over May of 2016? We're going backwards. If the economy was doing nicely, then that means our economic GDP growth would be increasing, would be growing, and we'd be spending less money. We'd be taking in more revenue, more tax revenue, because we have better jobs, better quality jobs. And therefore, we wouldn't be spending 60% more than what we're taking in, which means we got to go to the Chinese, we got to go to Wan Hung Lo, we got to borrow money from him again? What are you, nuts? They've already warned us that we've been borrowing too much money. We better get our act together. Oh, but we're doing nicely. And here we are talking about Russia. Economy's doing nicely. Really? This is crazy. How's that nice? That's be like me spending more, going to my wife, Marta, my business partner, at the end of the month saying, hon, we're spending far more money than the gang memberships we bring in. Isn't that nice? We're doing nicely. She'd hit me over the head. She'd think I went crazy. How are we doing nicely if we're spending more money than we take in gang memberships? Well, that's what Aunt B's saying about the government, and people believe it. Stocks rallied on Friday. People are like cattle. People are group thinkers. They just follow the cattle. It's unbelievable. How can you raise rates, increase payments on a home mortgage when mortgage delinquencies are back on the rise, especially FHA loans? If you go back and look at the loans that the FHA made, just go back to 2014, you wouldn't believe the delinquencies. We already bailed them out once. Now we're going to have to bail them out again. This is 2017. I'm talking about the ones they generated since 2014. Obama, he wanted to show that the economy was doing well. He went to the banks. He said, loan to anybody. Do what Bush did. Give them a loan if they can breathe. So those loans are put on the book, 2014, all failing. Then we have the highest auto loan debt, the highest student loan debt. And we never had so many people paying minimum payments on their credit card. The highest in history of credit cards. But what do we hear from Yellen?
The economy been doing nicely.
That's doing nicely. People are paying 18, 22% interest every month on their credit card, just minimum payments. Oh, but they tell us retail's doing wonderful. Consumers are spending like crazy. They're doing so good. Matter of fact, they're doing so good, they're sitting home online, they're punching the keys, they're buying everything online from Amazon. $15 billion they bought online. Killing the brick and mortar stores. Really? Well, I went and checked it out. I didn't see Amazon gross or their increase in sales at $15 billion. Matter of fact, their sales went down. Well, where'd the $15 billion go? They're not spending. They don't have any money. But Aunt B says, I'm going to raise rates, even though they're paying minimum on their car, on their credit card. They're behind on their auto loans, so let's jack those up. This is unbelievable. We have the highest student loans, but we also have the highest commercial and business bankruptcies since 2008. But hey, let's raise the rates. That means people who have commercial property, they got to pay even more. Because things are doing what?
The economy been doing nicely.
Yeah, right. So let's just, what the hell? Let's keep doing nicely, What are you, nuts? This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. We'll be right back. Join my gang, Phil's gang. Become a member. Well, let's make some money together. We'll be right back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. philsgang.com. What are people saying?
I've been in the financial business myself about 24 years. Very much enjoy the software program for the charts.
I love the new MV charts on Phil's software, and I'm making profits using them.
Complete guidance and professional education for investors who want to succeed in the stock market.
I love your new MV1, making lots of profits.
I love the chart. You know, I'm limited with time. Real good as far as just looking at whatever ticker tells me right away.
I've always enjoyed Phil's straightforwardness and talk about what's really going on.
The new MV1 and MV2 charting software. I particularly like the pre- and post-market candlesticks.
You guys have always been great on the service side. I can't say enough about the service side.
Don't wait. Sign up for Phil's Gang today. Give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
With Father's Day just around the corner, this is a great opportunity to show Dad or the man in your life how much you really care about them with a philsgang.com membership. For only $39.95 a month, you can give Dad the gift that keeps giving throughout the year. With the Phil's Gang membership, you will be in tune and up to the minute with the stock market. You'll know when to buy and when to short stocks. You get Phil's and true and honest market analysis and commentary. Most of all, Dad will thank you for the profits he's making with Phil's Gang. So skip the flashy tie, the fancy razor, and the overpriced golf balls, and make it a special day for Dad every day of the year with a philsgang.com membership. Go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com to sign up or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of Phil's Gang. I got a great opportunity for those people who are disgusted with the market, who don't have time to learn. What you do is follow me in the exchange-traded fund that I'm invested in. Every day you go to my site and you can see exactly what I am doing with my investment, and you can mimic me. Nobody else dares do that. Join the gang, philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Phil Grandy is a career businessman who has also been an entrepreneur all his life. He has used his business skills to take companies on the abyss of bankruptcy and bringing them back to profitability. Phil has been honored by Inc. magazine for the 500 fastest growing privately held companies and has been recognized with a prestigious Entrepreneur of the Year award. From the real estate to gas and oil industries to the stock market, Phil Grandy has mastered his line of business from start to finish. And with a passion and desire to make you a profitable investor, only Phil teaches you and guides you to make informed, unemotional investment decisions. And you'll gain the knowledge of what Wall Street doesn't want you to know. If you want to learn from the best and strengthen your ability to invest, then turn to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com. Simply call Phil's Gang at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Or go to philsgang.com.
It took me a long time to be able to say Chandler has cancer, because that is such a scary word. When St. Jude finds something that works well with a certain cancer, they share that with everybody. And knowing that we don't have to pay for all of the medical expenses, that's huge. We just have to worry about helping Chandler, and he's just my heart.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Performing technical analysis is no easy task for any investor unless conducted with a professional stock charting service. At Phil's Gang, we offer a choice of high-power, color-coded stock charts, all seamlessly integrated, so you can tackle the market the way you want to. The Phil's Gang Max Best 1000 Stock Charts. From Phil's Gang are high-performance HTML5 web-based charts that work on any browser and device, so you can put live streaming data and fully interactive charts in the palm of your hand. Phil Grandy designed the MV software to have the best features, and so far the early reviews have been great. You can plot charts on an intraday basis as well as on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, or annual basis. There is also a built-in watch list that you can customize to your liking. For more information, go to philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264. Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Radio Show. Want to know more about Phil's Gang? Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Okay, this is unbelievable what's going on. Last week, when we had the reversal, if you remember, banks were going down, and you had 5 stocks, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google, Microsoft, which again are about 13% of the S&P, which is about 13% of the market, which is only, but they produce most of the growth in the market, which is ridiculous. These stocks have been some of these stocks. The Nasdaq's up over 328%, mostly because of these stocks. As I said yesterday, that's like trying to hold up a 300-ton bridge with two 2x4s. Ridiculous. These stocks have been on a tear. Everybody just keeps buying them. That's all they buy. Facebook, Amazon, everybody buys. It's unbelievable. Well, last week we had a flash crash last Friday. Finally, it's gotten ridiculous. How do you buy? How can you justify a stock that's going up 120%, but their profits are going up 13%? You can't. People have just been following like a herd of cattle. Everybody's been pushing everybody in them. But then last week there was a warning, there's a flash crash. Now you see here on CNBC all day long, buy on the pullback, they tell you. Buy on the pullback. What are you, nuts? Everybody's buy on the dip. Buy on the dip.
Should you be buying any of the quote-unquote Trump dips?
I do believe it is the time to buy these stocks. Certainly, we're going to recommend buying stocks.
Part of this was to buy the dip.
I've been waiting to buy this dip more.
Every dip is a dip to buy?
There are a bunch of dips. Buy? What? Now? Are you nuts? So, here you got Amazon, Facebook. Clearly, it's on my chart. All we see is the institutions selling. That's all we see. We see Vanguard, BlackRock, T. Rowe Price, Bank of America, New York, J.P. Morgan Chase, Franklin Resources, Cox, Northern Trust, selling. It's red. My gang, they were not in these stocks when they crashed. In fact, we got some people who were in these stocks a week ago, warned them. People that we knew, investors, begged them to get out a week earlier. We said, these are going to collapse. And the day on Friday it collapsed, you asked anybody. I said to my gang in the morning when the market rallied, I said, market's going to turn. It's going to turn red. It's going to turn negative. These are crazy. So thank God for my chart. So these are red now, so stay away from it. Amazon, same thing. Solid red, telling you institutions are pulling out. You don't buy these on the dip. You know why they tell you to buy them on the dip? Because they need you to hold it up until they can get out with the institutions. The guys on Wall Street are there to protect the institutions. They're there to protect the teachers' union. They're there to protect the police, the fire chief, all the unions who give them their money to invest. They got to hold those up like they did to you with Enron. Didn't you hear that with Enron? Buy on the dip. Buy on the dip. Because the gangsters, the parasites on Wall Street, the Goldman Sachs, the Jamie Dimons, their job is to get you to buy, to hold it up so they can get their institutions out. And once the institutions, they get their teachers out, they get the steel workers out, they get all the institutions out, then they pull their bid out. And then it falls like a flying crowbar. Same thing that happened with Enron. If you remember Enron, it was amazing to watch. Jim Cramer, I'll never forget. Buy on a dip, buy on a dip. Are you nuts? I kept saying, buy on a dip. That's insane. And Enron, I'll never forget. The stock it dropped from, we started to short the stock around $82. And the stock was now down at $35. It dropped down to $25. I'll never forget this. After it dropped 70%, Cramer, not just Cramer, all the other big brokerage houses came on and said, start buying. One brokerage house, I won't give you the name, came on and said, you got to be an idiot for not buying Enron at this price. The stock was $90. It's now $25. Buy. Same thing they're doing now with these alphabet stocks. With these alphabet stocks, what a name that is. FANG stocks. Why don't we call them what they are? Stupid stocks. Stupid stocks. God, the greed's incredible. Everybody had to own these. I always tell my gang, if you're going to own these, one day, these are the ones that are going to get hurt the worst. Because every money manager has people in these stocks because it's so easy. And at the end of each year, they look like heroes. But they're not going to look like heroes because when it's time to sell, they don't have my chart. They don't tell you better start getting out. The institutions pulling money out. And they collapsed. And I told my gang, these are the ones that get hit the worst because it's like yelling in a theater fire. Because you got people in these stocks who should not be in these stocks. Plus, you got people in the stocks who are so leveraged, who borrowed money on margin. They're being called and say, look, you got to send me a check for $100,000 or I got to dump the stock you got. And they say, well, just dump it. Now everybody's in the hope mode. So stocks start going up a little bit. Everybody's in a hope mode. And that's because all you're going to hear on CNBC is the same thing we heard on Friday from Varney and the rest of them. Remember Friday, how everybody was buy. Everything's true. We can't believe how wonderful this market is. Can't believe how wonderful. I couldn't believe what Varney was saying. I go, why is he saying this?
Economic news, which nobody is other than on your show. If you look at the it's spectacular. I mean, more people are working. Unemployment claims are way down. Manufacturing's at 3-year highs. The U6 employment rate.
All a lie.
In about 4.5 minutes, we'll open this market and we're going to go up.
All record highs. Look at this.
Look at that.
Record highs.
Yeah, record highs. In the afternoon, they crashed. I didn't see them come out the next day and go, oops, made a mistake. Oops, I apologize. Oops. Are you nuts? That's why I join my gang right now, 877-600-GANG, and you can sleep at night. You always get out when you're supposed to be out before these kind of things happen. Join my gang now. Get your free color-coded chart.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. Even the experienced traders and investors need to keep learning to stay ahead. philsgang.com provides educational information about Phil's Gang products and services in many different ways. Daily live webinars hosted by Phil Grandy and technical charting experts help you understand and keep up with today's lively markets. Short videos, investing programs, and up-to-the-minute market alerts help you get up to speed with the market using Phil's Gang MaxVest 1000 stock charting software. We teach you an investing foundation that you seek to take the first steps towards achieving your personal financial goals. Visit philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Again, that's philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Phil Grandy is a career businessman who's also been an entrepreneur all his life. He's used his business skills to take companies on the abyss of bankruptcy and bringing them back to profitability. Phil has been honored by Inc. magazine for the 500 fastest growing privately held companies and has been recognized with the prestigious Entrepreneur of the Year award. From the real estate to gas and oil industries to the stock market, Phil Grandy has mastered his line of business from start to finish. And with a passion and desire to make you a profitable investor, only Phil teaches you and guides you to make informed, unemotional investment decisions. And you'll gain the knowledge of what Wall Street doesn't want you to know. If you want to learn from the best and strengthen your ability to invest, then turn to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com. Simply call Phil's Gang at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Or go to philsgang.com. Are you ready to get serious about your financial future? Reduce your debt, pay off those student loans, and prepare for retirement. Taking control of your finances can be intimidating, but with philsgang.com, you will be educated and guided to make smart investment decisions in the stock market. If the market is up or down, philsgang.com is the only source where you'll learn how to trade stocks and how to invest in the stock market using professional-level skills and strategies. For more information, go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It took me a long time to be able to say Chandler has cancer, because that is such a scary word. St. Jude takes care of absolutely everything. And knowing that we don't have to pay for all of the medical expenses, that's huge.
St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
St. Jude is uniquely positioned to advance the cures of pediatric cancer, I think better than any other institution in the world. The contributions make a big difference.
Donors are important to us because you get the feeling that you have a team behind you. We have the resources and we have the focus. And so if St. Jude doesn't do it, who will?
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of Phil's Gang. I got a great opportunity for those people who are disgusted with the market, who don't have time to learn. What you do is follow me in the exchange-traded fund that I'm invested in. Every day you go to my site and you can see exactly what I am doing with my investment, and you can mimic me. Nobody else dares do that. Join the gang, philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. We're offering the most powerful stock charts available on the market, the Max Vest 1000 charts. Now, the difference between these charts and all the other charts is this follows the money. Yes, it gives you a buy-sell signal. I know you're going to say, well, they all do. No, not true. The difference with the Max Vest is they follow the important money, the hedge funds, the biggest banks, the 401ks, the pension fund managers. That's the big difference. They're not following the emotion. That's what most charts do. They follow the money. That's what MaxVest does, follows the money. Check it out. Join my gang, philsgang.com. Oh, and the chart is low as $19.95 a month. For more information, just go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-GANG. We will see you on the charts.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264. Welcome back. You're not a regular listener to Phil's Gang? What, are you nuts? Listen to Phil Grandy and check out philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. You hear me every day talk about charting, talk about my class. I'm going to extend an invitation. Okay, I want to take this opportunity to invite you to be my guest in my Phil's Gang live online webinar charting classroom tomorrow. It starts at 9:30 to 11, no cost. So you can come and see what we do. See what we do. What charting's about. So tomorrow morning, just go to my website, philsgang.com. There's a link right there on the front page, and they'll allow you into the class for the day, and you can see what we do and see what the gang members do. What a wonderful opportunity. I know a lot of you say, I wonder what did they do with that classroom. Now you can see. So you're going to learn what a charting class is all about. That's from 9:30 to 11 o'clock. They email me questions. You'll see me answering them. So join. For tomorrow, the one day, free, firsthand. You can look into how charting, not fundamentals, charting, not fundamentals. Charting represents an efficient and intelligent way to invest, where you influence the outcome of your investment. You'll know when to get out. The chart will tell you, get out. Here's another thing that's interesting. So now on Friday, everybody's all giddy because we had this reversal of the stock market. Oh, the bank stocks have been going down. Oh, start buying those now and get out of the stocks that were going up, like Coca-Cola. Buy Disney now. Get out of Pepsi. No, all of a sudden, Disney today is doing worse than Pepsi. So which one do you do? They lied. Isn't it amazing? Gold. They told you, buy Ford. Buy Ford now. Get out of your gold stocks. Really? Well, how come gold stocks are doing better than Ford then? Because, see, people are catching on. Like I said, they all know it's a lie. When they keep telling, when they played off of the UK's election on Friday, and the market opened, and everybody dumped their euros because everybody's so upset, and they started to buy dollars, and the yield went up. That was an opportunity for the jibber-jabbers to come on and say, look at this, the dollar's up. The yields are up on a 10-year treasury. That means the economy's getting better. Start buying stocks. Start buying banks again. Everybody switched their positions, gone, wait a minute. That's a lie. Nothing's changed. Talking about change. Now, I support Donald Trump, but I've got a question. I'm totally confused. Remember this? When Trump said this?
She's keeping them artificially.
Talking about interest rates.
She's keeping them artificially low. Watch what's going to happen afterwards. It's a very serious problem. And I think it's very political. I think she's very political. And to a certain extent, I think she should be ashamed of herself.
Now, this is when I interviewed him. I was talking to him. I asked him, and he said, you heard what he said? Listen again.
She's keeping them artificially low.
Keeping them artificially low. He was all upset how low these interest rates are. But guess what he said the other day? In front of Cohn. He says to her, he says right to Yellen, that he considers her a low interest rate person just like himself. What are you, nuts? What's going on? I support him. When rates are held too low for too long, it causes such a slow economic growth, and here it is, 1.8%. Now, what Trump is being sold a bill of goods by his Goldman Sachs boys. They're telling him, hey, let's keep these rates low. You don't have to rally these rates. Keep them low. We're going to double the spending. Keep double the spending. We'll spend more than we take in. But because we're going to get this big tax cut, and they point to the tax cut, they point to the history of the tax cuts. And when you go look at the history of the tax cuts, you see they're right. Coolidge, when he cut taxes from 90% down to 25% or 70% down to 25%, revenues, tax revenues increased 61% because the economy exploded when he cut taxes. Kennedy, revenues exploded 62%. Reagan, when he cut taxes, exploded 54%. When Coolidge dropped the tax rate from 72% to less than 25%, it increased tax revenues by 61%. Yeah, when Roosevelt preceded Coolidge, Roosevelt, like Obama, a socialist, raised tax rates back to 90% from 25%. It was a disaster. The income to the Treasury dried up. And even Obama, who claims he's a historian, saw this. He read this in history, and yet what did he do? He followed Roosevelt. He followed Roosevelt. Remember, he went back in and said, I'm going to change the capital gains tax. I'm going to move them all the way back up because Clinton dropped them down. And Clinton, what did he find when he raised them? He lost revenue, so he lowered them. And when he lowered revenue, he had more revenue know what to do with. He ended up with a surplus. But he says, no, Obama says, no, it's not fair. It's not fair.
What I have proposed is that we raise the cap on the payroll tax, because right now millionaires and billionaires don't have to pay beyond $97,000 a year. That's where it's capped.
But Senator, that's a tax. That's a tax on people under $250,000.
So what he did, he turned around and he says to the guy on 60 Minutes, an interview, he said, no, I decided I'm not going to, I'm going to raise taxes back. And he says, even though it hurts the revenue, it's a fair thing to do. And what happened? The economy didn't grow. It grew under Coolidge, it grew under Kennedy, it grew under Reagan, it grew under Clinton, but it didn't grow under Roosevelt.
It is not a sacrifice for the industrialist or the wage earner. Pay more taxes to forego extra profits, to work longer or harder at the task for which he is best fitted.
See, they don't get it. They just don't get it. They don't understand it. It's unbelievable. When you cut taxes, you get income coming back in. Now, what Trump is saying, now he switched and says, well, I want a cheap dollar now, a weak dollar, which is wrong. He's listening to Goldman Sachs. Because remember, he's going to spend, he's doubling down, he's going to spend twice as much as Obama did. His deficits are going to be twice as big. That means until he grows the economy to 3-4%, that means inflation is going to spike. That's going to kill the value of the dollar. The dollar goes down, the yields go down, and that equates a very weak economy. He's got to have a pace where he cuts those taxes, and he's got to run those. He's got to hope these revenues come in so fast to outpace the debt. Right now, that's not happening. The debt is outpacing the revenues. Now he's got to change that around. But he's not going to do that in 6 months or a year. But he's not going to do it at all, because here's what's going to happen. The Republicans, as their own party, are going to make sure there's no tax cut. They want to screw him. By not giving his tax cut, they know that his whole plan will fail. And he'll be a failed president. They're not going to pass the tax cut. They've already why do you think they're not passing the Obamacare, the repeal? Because the repeal cuts taxes by $1 trillion. And that's why they didn't pass it. And that means they're not going to pass the big tax cut. So there's going to be some trouble here. So my point is, what you do, join me, and then you can see what we do with charting. It doesn't matter. All we want to know is let's follow the money to make money. We'll be right back after this break. Join my gang. Get my free chart.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. philsgang.com. What are people saying?
Hi, this is Ron from Washington State, and I subscribe to the Phil's Gang MV2, and I just wanted to let Phil know that right after the election, I made a $7,000 profit using the MV2 on Wells Fargo stock.
Complete guidance and professional education for investors who want to succeed in the stock market.
I've been in the financial business myself about 24 years, and very much enjoy the software program for the charts.
I've been a long-time Phil subscriber, and I just want to recommend it to anybody out there. I think it's a wonderful tool and works very, very well.
Don't wait. For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Are you ready to get serious about your financial future? Reduce your debt, pay off those student loans, and prepare for retirement. Taking control of your finances can be intimidating, but with philsgang.com, you will be educated and guided to make smart investment decisions in the stock market. If the market is up or down, philsgang.com is the only source where you'll learn how to trade stocks and how to invest in the stock market using professional-level skills and strategies. For more information, go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Celebrating 18 years as the leader in investing and trading education.
Following your system has been fantastic.
Yeah, I really appreciate the work you do. You're really an inspiration.
I have learned so much. You're really one of the best I've ever heard. I've been with you for about a month and a half now, and I'm already up 7%.
Financial education is, in many respects, the most important education you can get, and that's what they're getting from your show.
You guys have always been great on the service side.
I have so much more confidence in when I'm in my trading.
Phil, keep up the good work. I've been in this business for 45 years, and you are the best.
And I've been following you, I guess, about 9 months right now, and you've just done a great job. Join the gang, and you'll never regret it.
If you're serious about securing your financial future, then contact philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264.
Phil Grandy here, Phil's Gang Radio Show. To all my listeners in San Francisco, I want to reach out and thank you all for listening on Business Radio KDOW, KDOW 1220 AM.
To be able to just get my son to St. Jude and not think about how we will pay for it, it just takes so much weight off of my family. St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Even the experienced traders and investors need to keep learning to stay ahead. philsgang.com provides educational information about Phil's Gang products and services in many different ways. Daily live webinars hosted by Phil Grandy and technical charting experts help you understand and keep up with today's lively markets. Short videos, investing programs, and up-to-the-minute market alerts help you get up to speed with the market using Phil's Gang MaxVest 1000 stock charting software. We teach you an investing foundation that you seek to take the first steps towards achieving your personal financial goals. Visit philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Again, that's philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back. This segment of the Phil's Gang Show is brought to you by the MV Stock Charts. For more information, go to philsgang.com.
Chewing on a piece of grass.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Okay, remember, join my gang right now. The number is 877-600-GANG, or go to my website, philsgang.com. Put in your code that says free MV2, and you get the $29.95 color-coded chart free for a month. Or just call 877-600-GANG, join the gang, and they'll set you up with a free color-coded chart. Also, tomorrow, okay, I want to invite you to my guest, to the live Phil's Gang online webinar, the charting classroom that we do every day. So you're going to be invited Wednesday, tomorrow, from 9:30 to 11, and you'll see what we do in the class, what I teach, how it works. What an excellent opportunity to take a look at Phil's Gang. So just go to my website, and you have right on the home page, you have the link to sign to get into my 9:30 class. Okay, so that'll be a lot of fun tomorrow. So don't take advantage of it. And today, join the gang. And the advantage with the gang, especially when you learn how to read a chart, with all this nonsense going on, where last Friday they tell you, forget it, switch your stocks, start buying all these different stocks now because the economy's doing terrific. That's all a bunch of nonsense. And tomorrow, don't be surprised when they raise rates, the market goes negative. That's right, goes negative. First it will rally, and then don't be surprised if they doesn't sell off. We're already seeing today the stocks are supposed to be going up or going down. And, oh, by the way, all the big FANG stocks, including Microsoft, are having a rough time. All they're doing all day long, buy on the dip.
Should you be buying any of the quote-unquote Trump dips?
I do believe it is the time to buy these stocks. Certainly, we're going
No, you don't buy on the dip. The idea is you buy when the institutions, when Vanguard buys and T. Rowe Price buys and J.P. Morgan buys. But how do you know that if you don't have a chart? You're guessing. Well, the guesswork is gone. Because on the chart, it will turn green. It hasn't turned green. If I go look at Facebook right now, I want to see, should I start buying Facebook right now? It's red. They're telling you to buy it. Why would I buy it when it's red? It's ridiculous. You know, we've got to hope that they don't obstruct Trump with this tax cut. If they obstruct him, this is going to be a terrible thing because we'll never grow the economy. Our economy won't even be 1% next year. He's got to get that tax cut through. And it still may not even work because he's got to be such a pace. He's got to overcome. He has to have such a pace where with all the spending, that he's starting to all of a sudden see that we have his revenues are greater than his debt. That's going to be tough to do. But he did do some great things that are helping. Take this. You know this Paris Agreement, what Obama supported, this Paris Agreement? He was supporting to raise energy costs for you, for every hard-working American household. But you didn't know that, did you? Obama was supporting higher energy costs for America. For every additional dollar that the middle class and lower income families would now be spending on lighting and heating in their homes because of this Paris Agreement was $1 that would no longer be available to pay for your housing, for your food, for your clothes, in the book. All those dollars for your books and your housing was taken away from you, and he was supporting that it would go into higher electric prices so that he could redistribute money from you to some country we don't even know that he hopes that the ice cubes don't melt. What are you, nuts? Then, with that Paris Agreement, he was saddling the producers, people who produce, with huge regulations. Now, those regulations increase the cost of doing business. What do you think happened with the Dodd-Frank bill? Thank God the president got rid of the Dodd-Frank bill. The Dodd-Frank bill, it told the banks, you got to put more money in reserve. There wasn't enough money for the banks to lend. So the banks, they made it harder for you to borrow from them. They increased their regulations. They increased the loans, what you had to do to get a loan approved. You could have an 800 score. You still wouldn't get a loan because they forced them to take the money and put it in reserves and all these regulations. And that's why when you saw these houses especially from prices of $285 to $385 that everybody wants, they were soaring in price. Not because there was great demand, because guess what? There was no new house construction because banks weren't allowed to loan for construction. They couldn't loan to construction. They couldn't loan to small businesses. And small businesses, that is the energy behind our growth, our economy. It's the small businesses that is America. A small business person is America. Not Google, not GE, but a small businessman in your town who employs 15 people, 5 to 15 to 30 people. He's America. And they were getting screwed. They couldn't go in and get a loan because they told the bank, Frank Dodd, oh, you got to put much more aside in reserve. And so how do they cut? So what do? They cut the demand for loans. When you go to the bank, they cut the demand by raising the regulations, increasing regulations, increasing what you have to do. They send you out, you had to get 2 appraisals, 3 appraisals instead of 1. It's a joke. But look, there is a retirement crisis. You're not going to live on Social Security. The stock market, whether it goes up or down, you got to be in a position you don't care. You want to be in a position that you make money whether it goes up or down. And the only way you're going to make money is if you know if money is being put in a stock at a particular time or taken out. Look what happened with the flash crash. So don't let the flash crash bother you. Let the flash crash be an important lesson. That don't you want to be in with the gang that we know before these things happen? We can see with a color-coded change. Not 100% of the time, I'm not going to say that. But most of the time, you'll find a color-coded change that warns you. Nothing's 100% in anything. I'm not saying it's 100%. Facebook, it's amazing. If you looked at Facebook, this thing here, like today, they're trying to rally it back up, and it's red. So at least it's telling you to stay out of trouble. Isn't that great? So Facebook went from 144 today to 150. 144 to 150. 4%. 4%. But guess what? It's telling you don't buy it. It's a head fake. You'll get hurt. If you take a look at Amazon dropped from $1,000, we'll just make it easy, $1,017 down to $927, about 4% in a heartbeat. But guess what? We knew on my chart, the MV2, it dropped 8%, but we knew 3 days earlier. We knew on Wednesday, Thursday, we knew on Tuesday. We knew on Tuesday, the June 8th, or June 6th, on Tuesday, to get out of Amazon. The next day, it was red, warned again. And then Thursday, warned again. And then it collapsed. How beautiful is that? How beautiful is that? So look at, join my gang. It's $39.95. Get my free color-coded charts, $29.95 value. Get it free for a month. And then why don't you, and you don't have to be a gamer, you don't have to join to come in and look at my class tomorrow. It starts at 9:30 to 11. It's active. You see how we invest, how we trade, how we interact with our students. And this is Eastern time. And just go to my website, philsgang.com, and then you'll have a link. Click on, and you're in my class. What a beautiful thing. Okay. So what is going on? Tomorrow is they're raising rates tomorrow. And as I said, don't be surprised the market doesn't drop. Remember, the market's been going up because they're saying they're raising rates because the economy's doing good. How can they lie like that? The economy's doing good? Are you kidding? Going back 6 years. Go back 6 years. We haven't had this kind of credit card delinquencies. 6 years ago is when we saw these kind of credit card delinquencies. Now we got them again. We got the subprime auto loans again delinquencies. We got everything is so bad. But they're telling you, no, things are good. But my chart will settle that for you. Should you buy or should you sell? That's a beautiful thing. So you can come into my class tomorrow. Just go to my site, philsgang.com. Get the link, click on, come to my live class at 9:30 Eastern Time tomorrow for the one day and see what we do. In the meantime, join my gang. Get your free color-coded chart, 1 month free.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.